Well, hello, and welcome to Stop Let's Team Up, episode 147. I basically it's going to be me and Kirby picking what we want, compared to deluxe editions and omnis, things that collections that we think everybody needs.
Yep.
Or some of them probably will be going, really, everybody, or is that just you, Ross? They're
I got a couple that are just like, Kirby, pull your head out of your ass. No one at DC is actually listening to you.
well, there's some in here that I was like, we're gonna pick and we're gonna take turns, and if one of us picks it, the other one has to pick something else.
Yep,
Uh,
I've got enough for to do two of these episodes.
yeah, I do too, especially my afterthoughts. But there are also some that I think maybe we don't want to count them. I mean, is there anyone that you think we're both automatically going to say, and we're going to say it every time until they print it? I can
I,
think
I've
of
got I've got two that I
two.
think.
I would say All Star Squadron
That was one.
and any of the Levitts.
Yeah, that was one.
Either
Yep.
Levitts.
So I'm just gonna cross because those were my number one and number two. So I'm just gonna cross those out and bump everything else up
Yeah,
two
I've got them
notches.
too because I had to figure out where I went up in my books and went, what would be a good Omni based on what they've already collected? Because they've collected up through issue
The
12
curse,
of the Baxter, and then it's fuck all.
which makes
Uh,
no sense to
no, it
me.
makes no sense at all. And because I like the hardcovers I got, basically they become archives 14, 15, 16, and 17. Oh,
Right.
yeah, 17. No, and then 18 and 19 would be Great Darkness and the Curse. So I have the way I would set those books up, but I would say there has to be a Levitz 1, which is Earth War, and then Levitz 2 starts right where the Great Darkness saga starts and goes on and through Magic War. And
Yeah.
that would be four or and where do you put the 12 issues Tales of? So it's all weird. Those ones I had right away, but I had to have two Levitz ones because neither of them have been in deluxe editions. They are in nice hardcovers. I mean, it is the delivery system is still, and they're very good ones, man. They do. DC does a standard size hardcover that's extra fat. The Supermans were the burned Superman ones,
Yep.
and the complete Kurt Busiek two hardcovers. I had to get that because I hadn't read it all, and it's really good, but it's a blip,
Yeah.
you know,
And
he went on it. So,
for
so
a lot of
go ahead.
for a lot of my picks, what I was going through is like, okay, what are series that I would have loved to have just had an Omni, but because they didn't have them, I just had to go back issue hunting. So it's like, okay, I don't care if I'm doubling up. These are series I love that I would love an omnibus of, in addition to my complete floppy runs.
Yeah, because that's and that's mine is how are you like how are these would be mapped? Because a couple things I wanted, I didn't think had enough stuff. So I'm going to say when I use one of them, you'll know that I've kind of had to do a patchwork where
Mm-hmm.
it's like if you want the Hawkeye epics, they're
Right.
not really it's really jumping around.
That first one is
It's
wow, you're skipping stones over decades.
Yeah, I really think there should have been. I understand the two stories that were very important. It's his origin. These are places
Right.
where he has an origin and how he joins the team. But you could have done a little bit more.
Yeah.
Yeah, there could have been a little bit more.
One
But
that
but there's stuff like that, and because it's always going to be a patchwork.
I left Elongated Man off of that of my list because of that because it could have gone from like the 60s to the 90s, but I have to do so much research to know like because a lot of it's gonna be backup stories from Detective and whatnot.
Yeah, and
And
it's going to be his team ups and stuff like they
yeah,
kind of like what they're doing in what I like that they're doing in DC Unit Finest is all of Batman's Batman.
mm-hmm,
All of Superman, and even as clumsy as that will be in certain eras,
yep,
it's kind of cool. I'm gonna I decided last night. I read the Gail Simone first DC Finest of Wonder Woman, and I don't know why I like it so much. More I love it. It's Gail Simone. She writes a
it's
fun
yeah,
comic. It's fun. It's
Hmm.
fun. Nemesis is her boyfriend. I have no
That
idea how we got to that, but there's stuff going on. She's got sidekicks, new ones for her,
okay.
and it's so Julia Schwartz that I love it because it's weird. And I'm not a Terry Dodson fan sometimes.
Really interesting.
I do like him, but I was like going, this is really Frank Cho, isn't it? Are you just doing your best Frank Cho? Which is
Okay,
not an insult. They all draw. These are all of same ascent generation. That kind of there's a bunch of them that draw like that.
Adam Hughes, I would also kind of put
Oh
into
yeah,
that camp.
definitely one of them. Scott, yeah, to in some level Scott McDaniel.
Hmm.
Um, but it's still good and it was fun and it's still got Etta and Steve that from the Wonder from because the only Wonder Woman I've really read is since Crisis.
Right.
But I have not read. So I do. Yeah, I would love to read the Rocket era.
Same here.
I mean, it's out. Omni. I haven't picked it up, but if it comes out in a compendium, I'll get it. They're redoing the prezes. They've started to reprint them. I'll
Hmm.
wait for each one. It's worth it because it's
I
it's really his is really really good. It's just mine. It's like okay, this comic sucked.
let's do it good. And
Yeah, it was
yeah,
like yeah, and it's and if you read his introduction, it's neat. But those are great. His how they're book mapping them because we've said like the maps DC are doing are freakishly good.
very like they're fine. They've probably got some continuity nerds. Just here's how you do it, or they're finding the lists online that people again have made for free. And like I use the League of Comic Geeks for a lot of some of my
Reading
mapping.
orders, yeah.
Yeah.
It's basically they're doing what I would how I filed comics when I had floppies. If
Yep.
something was like these are the only two issues of supervillain team up I own. They're going to go in this event, this event, Avenger, and Kirby knew exactly what he's talking about, where it goes, because in every reprint, it's where it belongs. But it was I did a lot of mapping in my head. How much did you do that a bit? Some of
uh,
yours?
I did that a bit, just kind of. Now I didn't do a lot of super mapping, but it's like
Oh
I
yeah,
knew
yeah, yeah.
enough to like include because some of mine are pretty. Again, just in my head because I didn't want to do a bunch of patchwork where it's like I need this, and this. So it's like okay, where are ones that are pretty standard, but I know I could include multiple I knew there would be some tie-in issues here and there
Yeah. And I did some like, oh, I like this, but it's a short run. Do I have enough in the next run? Because
to
there's
fill
this
it
thing
out.
I'm noticing in publishing where there's such a gap. It's like, fuck it, just a gap. Just, look what they did with the Blue Beetle.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
You could have just skip those five really shitty issues.
you could, yeah, just give us the Ditko and then jump to the Len Wein, Paris
Yeah,
Cullens, and
yeah.
that would have made the fattest DC
Yeah,
five.
it would have been fine because that's not even that long a run, is it?
It was like 20 issues.
That's it.
That was it.
That's
It's
that's so
sad. It's
sad.
great, and I'll buy
It was
that
a
DC
great
five.
comic.
Yeah, and I got it in a black and white showcase, but I'll upgrade to color. It's like I
Yeah,
need to do that.
that'd be a nice deluxe edition.
Hmm.
20 issues, I'd buy that. Or a very small Omni. All right. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna pick and we're not doing are you doing it in any order up? You want to go backwards up or these mine could
Um,
be any of them.
I have like a slight order to it, but it's really it's not like a hard set rule.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna pick some of my odd ones first and then or more save my complicated ones for later if they're
Yep.
still there. But let me let you go first.
Okay, so my first one, it's not gonna be that big of a compendium. I'm just gonna say omnibus here, just for simplicity's sake. It's gonna be the Tom Pyre Our Man series. It only ran, 25 issues. You could also include maybe some of the DC 1 million that kind of leads into it. it. Again, just a great underrated run. The art is fantastic. It's fun. It's one of the best uses of Snapper Car ever. Just a delight, and I just love this character so much. It's
Yeah.
it
Uh,
that
I
that
didn't even
that's
think
that's it. I
about
mean,
it.
I don't have
You
a
could
whole lot.
actually have his that first um, Justice Society story where he joins the Justice Society and then and tie it up in a bow because he becomes it. He comes back and I don't think he's used. I liked how John's used him
Yep.
in Everybody thought he was made him the bad guy. He wasn't. He was just fucked up.
Yep.
But I like that he's still around trying to protect everybody. Just it's all out of whack. But yeah, that's a good one. That is a really good one. And it is something that should be collected in its entirety. It's
Oh,
something I held on to in floppy longer than almost anything else.
and I just realized you end it with when the android sacrifices himself to get the original Hour Man back alive. So that's like 3 issues. So I'm looking at like a 30 issue collection there. So
Yeah,
that's
that's fine.
yeah.
That's bigger than a deluxe edition. You could call it Omni, or DC does a good deluxe edition. I like theirs. Even the skit from the skinny ones, like Batman and Elmer Fudd team up, is in a nice hardcover. I also have it in another thing. It's in the other thing, but I'm gonna keep trade I got, but I'm gonna keep it where it is because I didn't know it existed, and I'm glad it does. And we're gonna do an episode on it at some point.
Uh, yep.
Yeah, I mean, just because it just has to be. I want to talk to about someone about it because I've read it and went, I don't know what I'm supposed to think. But that's a good one. I like that one, and I like ones like that. Because I think sometimes with a single hero and you've never read it, and if you want to turn someone on to it, it's hard.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's just like Starman, that it was only the trades and then the omnibuses. It became a really niche, and it wasn't really since they weren't they just stopped pre-printing this stuff. That how are we going to get new fans on it? And word of mouth is great, but
But
I'd like to see them blown up. I'd like an oversized version of that. And all I've got is the two compendiums now, which are fun, but they're fat and they're hard to read at times. Um, but yeah, I like a single person, a single thing that all comes out in one volume. And that has that way you could jump into anything else they're in as if they're a team book. Why were they when they give it that such? Because I think there are times where there's a solo character has a great series and they cancel it. It's like this is
well,
better than what was coming out of the Batman run, and you let that go for 3 more years with that same shit writer. But
yep.
here's something that is tight, and I know was selling because I was working in comic shops when Hour Man was coming out. People people got it because of the character, people got it
Mm-hmm.
because of the writer, and people bought it because of Rag Morales' art. And I will buy
Yep.
anything that he does.
Oh,
Boom.
Greg Morales' art is the only reason to even flip through Identity Crisis.
Yeah, flip through it. Don't read it, please.
No, it'll
Because you
just make you
can't get
mad.
at it. It's wasted space in the back of their brain. And
Yep.
I
Makes
mean,
my teeth itch.
yeah, it does. So let me do one of those. I have one of those on my list, and it's Quasar.
He was actually on my backup list.
It is. So I have the first two trades, which is about half of it.
Okay.
Um, it's a comic I read religiously. Um, and I read Wonder Man because the artist had drawn Quasar James Johnson.
I'm not. It's not coming to me. Go on.
Yeah, but his last name Johnson, and
Okay.
he drew both of them, and he has very dynamic. I liked him. He was a really good penciler, and the comic books were fun. What is his name? What's his
Wendell.
Wendell?
Yep.
Wendell. You start to really like Wendell. He's
Yes.
a good guy, and it's a great Marvel science fiction comic. And it was there hadn't been one that good in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And this is an era where um, it's really where Engelhart and Starlin and who took Mars and
Yep.
others brought back Marvel's sci-fi, a space opera basically,
Right.
which I love that era in the 70s. It was this perfect storm of new visionary looks. But this Quasar run it's got Grunwald's hand on it. It's got other all these great talented people on it, and they take a character who had tryouts,
Yeah,
but
he
no one
did.
ever really sat. And in the Avengers, it was just he was in, and he was just one of those group. He just kept doing things, and then he got a big thing to do, and he got his own book, and it lasted almost 40 issues.
No, I think it lasted 60 because I am about 4 issues away from having a complete run of that, and I'll finally do one of my big,
So that's a
rereads
huge, that's one big omni. You could get on it, but it'd be a fat one.
60, yeah, 60, see, 60, then there's three specials. This is just me doing super quick look at Mike's for it. But yeah, no, that'd be either a one fat omnibus or like two reasonable size omnis.
Yeah. And it's something you'll love. It's that thing about my generation and a little bit the generation after, there's certain things like anything by Grunwald,
Yeah, Grunwald,
anything he touched.
I feel like most readers my age like don't know a lot about Grunwald.
Really, but it's like Mantlo. I think more in an editorial way. Grunwald was a really good editor,
Right.
but I think everything he wrote works. I think he understands the formula.
Mm-hmm.
It's very Marvel.
Yep.
And he's using tropes and he's using the method, the plotting method, A plot, B plot, C plot, Marvel method. He's got he's blessed with one after another great perfect artist for the book and
Yeah, sure.
there's this place in Marvel continuity where it all just turns into an overturned latrine and it's just you basically close your eyes, keep your mouth covered and ride your way through it or just fucking skip that 10 year about 4 years. That's my problem with certain the 90s excess. But Quasar was a good character, and they used him. And like, then they went to the thing, he killed him, and they had a new person. I think he's back.
I think so.
So yeah, but he was a really popular character for a little while. I think that book sold really. I think that book sold well enough that you're gonna get someone in my generation, a little after year before you buy it, just because it's more Grunwald. It's this stuff that goes great with. It ties into Infinity stuff at some point.
Yep. And there's at least one issue where like there's a race going on amongst all of Marvel speedsters, but the winner of the race is a barely legally distinct Barry Allen coming out of Crisis because it's buried alien and it's long blonde hair, huge beard, and like yellow boots and like torn shorts that just barely don't have a lightning bolt belt to it. So again, he knows what he's doing and it's fine.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
And that's pretty early in the run. I think it's like 17 or something.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
yeah.
check real quick.
But it was Grunwald going, I'm gonna write a DC superhero comic book now. I'm gonna stop where we're at
Uh-huh.
and do it Justice League. I gotta get a pen because I'm gonna mark that down. Um, but what's your next one?
Okay, my next one, it's similar in my thought with number 10. It's gonna be the Abnett Landing Resurrection Man series.
Ooh,
Uh,
good one. I thought
yep,
I was looking at that to read that stuff and say because we had been talking about it.
yep. So you would basically, for one big compendium, Omni, you would just need the original series, which was 27 issues. There was like two crossover issues with Supergirl by Peter David, and then honestly, just throw in the new 52 version of Resurrection Man on at the back because it was also by Abnett and Landing. Like this is just a really good series, written by or drawn by Butch Guice for the majority of it, and it's them just kind of really playing with some conventions. It's a good TV series that like for USA Network because every issue they're gonna play around with his powers, which is really cool. Every time he dies, he gets a new power, and they play it from everywhere from like hard drama to some really dark comedy. Like there's a crossover with Garth Ennis' Hitman, and they're trapped in a bar, and Hitman just keeps killing him up until he gets a power that he thinks is useful.
Oh my
Or it's like,
God.
I think I can make like holographic pink butterflies. Hitman goes, nope. Okay, I can do force fields. Okay, good enough. Let's go.
I like
So
that idea. I like
yeah,
that. I like that idea of the character because sometimes it sounds like an old DC convention that they give these people like dial a tree here, which I've never gotten into. Makes
nope.
no sense to me. But everybody has had this. weird click. Oh, I have to say the formula out loud. Just weird shit that should not, or I mean, then again, Speedster's lightning hitting chemicals, and you don't get a bad rash. At least anything it doesn't. You're not. I like it more when they try to reboot in Batman Flashpoint Batman Beyond, when they did a sequel. He goes back. Thomas Wayne goes back, tries to reset it, and he fucks it up even more, and he electrocutes Barry, and it's like it's so twisted. But that's the weird tick to the heroes. I've never read it. I read it. I've read the stuff in 1,000,000,
Yeah, it's really good
and it
because
made me
they know,
interested.
yeah, like they know how to tell a really good kind of like it, it's so weird because I feel like if the book came out like 10 years later, it would be an image book and it would probably would have lasted a lot longer. But the ties to the DC universe are a lot of fun throughout because like the JLA will show up and it's like, look, guys, I have these powers. I'll use them to like help people, but I'm not going to put on a cape and tights here.
Yeah, yeah, and that was really of that era, really that late '90s. Like even Morrison, when he was doing X-Men, whenever that was, they got well, they're in leather biker jackets. What's the fucking difference?
Yeah,
It's a fucking costume, and yours is not. Yours is boring.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
um, so okay, so my second one I'm looking at. I'm gonna go with A Next, which is and what I mean by this is the Spider Girl universe that is created by DeFalco and friends and keeps going is awesome. That's I've every time there it's they know what they're writing. It's yes, there's a lot of it. And there's a lot of Spider Girl, and I read it religiously. But I also liked when they created their version of the Avengers. They gave Juggernaut's kid a book, and was there anything else? I don't know, but this would be A Next would be both that run. It would be the A next characters, the J2, some of the Spider Girl that's tied into it, and then it would end with the thing where the universe is kind of ends up. It was a little one issue special or something to do. You could just
Ah,
have it, and then if you wanted to do oversize of hers, it would just be that companion book you kind of slide in toward the end or some in the middle. You just put everything and have some overlap, but have some of the Mayday stuff at the beginning and other Mayday stuff that ties in with it. You could get a decent oversize, and it's a lot of fun. I loved it. I loved it. I mean, I don't
that's
think I would read a decade's worth of that
sure.
because it is just really a love letter. But I like how the next generation is different enough and interesting enough, but is really kind of rooted in the core 10 top 10 kind of members are all mixtures and variants of that. I like it. It was a lot of fun.
Nice.
Mayday stuff is
I
really,
think
I mean, and Tom DeFalco knows how to write it. Just really, it's a really, he writes a solid story.
he does. I've never read these. I'm most aware of that Spider Girl and the fact that they gave Juggernaut's kid his own book. It's like okay,
And
that's out
he,
of
oh,
left
and
field.
it was very, he had a flannel shirt was part of it. It was very grunge. He was a little, and then they had some bad guys that were the take on like the original Avengers. It's a good book.
Right
It's
on.
I liked it a lot but in the same way that I like Valentino's Guardians of the Galaxy.
Gotcha.
It's why I can jump in and out of Savage Dragon. I mean, it's not he writes a really good 70s Marvel comic. And some stories are better than others. Um, but it's that kind of trick, and I liked it. So I would do that one. Because the Mayday stuff's being is been reprinted and reprinted. They reprinted a lot because it's that popular and it's
Yeah.
that good. It really is a good Spider-Man. And if you don't want to deal with all the Spider-Man continuity, and just say what he's just an old man now. So
Yeah.
all right, what's your next choice?
Okay, this one I'm keeping on the list, even though apparently there were two sort of on the businesses that came out somewhat recently. It's Mike Grell's John Sable Freelance. So, yeah, 56 issues of the original series. Then there was at least two or three miniseries that came after it. So, this could be one or two. And, when we did our top 10, we talked about, my dad reading of the Robert B. Parker Spencer series. This kind of falls right in line with that, honestly. But you have, again, Mike Grell writing and drawing it for most of that run. It looks gorgeous. It's in the first comics I think need to be more in the public eye. This is just some really good, mercenary for hire. And I love the conceit that it's like, no, him being a mercenary, that's his public persona. His costume is essentially him being a children's book author
Yeah.
with like a big Gene Shalit mustache and wig, and it's just all sorts of ridiculousness. And you, you, if you're ever a fan of like the Magnum PIs, the Miami Vices, all that sort of stuff, give this book a shot,
Yeah.
without a
That's
doubt.
I don't I had it and I read it. I read him pretty religiously. Um and I did think I kind of just faded out of buying stuff. So I haven't read a
Hmm.
lot of the his Green Arrow that he wrote and other people drew.
Yep.
And that I want to read that, but that era of DC non-powered hero. They basically a house formula. Christian used it, GA
Yep.
used it, they used it on Batman and Shadow. They I found it tired. I felt it didn't work all the time, and they didn't try to stretch themselves with it. But it's normally, but it's still a Mike Grell action comics. Really, they're really good.
Yeah, that's
Any
again,
of his,
Grove.
I thought about First Comics and how I would do because they've done American Flag. Have they done John Sable or who's been?
There's Nexus, but I know the writers went off the deep end, so I don't know. But yeah, that's a good series.
Yeah,
So
Mike Barron. That really makes me sad because I really like his stuff and he's such an asshole.
yeah.
So, but that kind of explains why he was good at some of the books he was. So I'm going to do one that is just a continuation, and it's a
Okay.
pretty simple Defenders, Volume 3, please.
Yeah.
Okay. And I was trying to pick a cover because me and Kirby were picking covers for some of our picks. Couldn't find one that had Red Guardian on it
Ugh.
that wasn't them getting beat up. And it really upsets me because this is that era. It's another thin volume, and you'll
Hmm.
get through the David Anthony Kraft. You had the Giffen issues. It's just, if that book had stayed on that vent,
It.
even though I think it would have lasted a bit long, I think some mistakes are made around here for me as a Defenders reader, but I think this is a stretch of comics that comes after the Bozo War and all the Gerber stuff. It was a really good book right after that.
Yeah, I really like the David Anthony Kraft era. It's not. It's whoever follows him is where I think the wheels start
Yeah,
to get shaky. And then DeMatteis, it's again, I've said before, I love him as a writer. He's one of my favorites. But it's clearly him as a young writer trying to save a failing book, and he makes some mistakes.
yeah, yeah. I think he do. I read that thing religiously. I did but I've never read the last 10 issues.
Yeah, I
It's just, well, I mean, and I don't mind. I see the plot and I've watched like the history of the Defenders on a YouTube channel. And also I'm not that big a fan of Don Perlin.
yeah, I
Why?
can.
What the fuck is he on that book that long for? Because they didn't care.
Yeah.
It was all. It's rough, but this volume 3 is good. All right. So what's your next one?
Okay, my next one, I mean, could be a top 10. But I'll just limit it. I am a Valiant guy. I've talked about
Hmm.
this before. I've talked about it again, but I don't know what the rights are to like some of that original Volume 1 stuff because you got Solar Man of the Atom, Magnus Robot Fighter, Turok that would be very need to be tied in. So my number 7, I guess, is Exo Man of War by Robert Venditti. This is the run that kickstarted the third wave of Valiant back in 2012. I have the trades of it, but the an omnibus needs the Unity first 4 issues of Unity and the Armor Hunters crossover actually mixed into where they have to freaking go because the series doesn't make any sense without it. And you got some specials and one shots that you can just kind of put into reading order. And what you have there is a really tight, beginning to end some excellent character growth. I'm not trying to say too much because I did a episode of Trade School that should be coming out at some point in the near future where I go a little more in depth to this. But yeah, Exo Man of War by Robert Venditti. You could do this in one fat compendium like those G.I. Joe and Transformers ones.
Oh, that'd be cool. That'd be
Yeah.
cool. Something like that's good. All right. So on to my fourth pick. I want to do um Manhunter. But me and Kirby were talking about this at the top. I love the Manhunter series. Um, Kate Spencer is my Manhunter. It is an incredibly good book. It has a ton of fan wanky, and it takes some Roy Thomas's super fan wanky stuff and grabs onto it and uses it. And it is a perfect companion book to Birds of Prey because that's where that character goes, and then Leviathan and stuff like that. I like that character, and but it also ties it into the JSA because the heritage, and it takes the character Chance. I love her. She's really good in it. That she you think she's hitting rock bottom when she falls in love with the tech guy who's an ex henchman, and that they fall in love. I love it. I absolutely love it. It's her, and it's what you could do one volume. It's all there. And she is a character that you get. She's got that. I mean, it was pedigree people doing the book. And it really was just a really good DC non-powered superhero book.
Yeah,
And they really had to build it up from the beginning. And they found things that worked, like people responded well to the goofy hot henchman, and then
mhm.
bringing Chait. And it really played into it that they're all on their way down and they come up. And then there's all this stuff. Oh, by the way, Kate, this is why they weave her into the mythos without it being too terrible, without it being, it's crazy, but it makes sense.
Right. I remember this series kind of coming out as I was starting to get more into following series regularly, and I just missed it. And I've always kind of wanted to read it, so I think like a companion of this would be perfect. I would, I would pick it up, no question.
Yeah, it's really good, man. It's really good. And the art's gorgeous and it's really fun. And that's what the thing about it. It's just a fun comic book. I read it religiously. It lived on the top of my reading pile.
Perfect.
Mm. So what's your next one?
Okay, my next one. This is the most Kirby. This is solely for you, and it's Captain Carrot and his amazing zoo crew. I'm sorry, like give me a companion of it because it's gonna make my job a lot easier.
Yeah,
um,
because it all fit, wouldn't it? Including the
it,
Oswars?
Yeah, so let's see. Between the special, you have 20 issues of the ongoing. You have the Oz Wonderland War Trilogy, which is basically 6 issues. Then you have the final arc, which is a 3 issue mini. You have some stuff like interstitial stuff John's did for like 6 pages max, and then you finish it with when they came in during Final Crisis. So it's like, oh, they're back. Boom. That's a big fat omnibus right there. I mean, I have an entire series about
Yeah.
this, so I'm not. I don't feel the need to keep going on and on
I
about
didn't even
it.
put it on my list. I was like, I'm not putting, you know, because you're right. It's okay. And you know what? I'm going to take my next one and go to this. I made a list of ones that I got. They fall under the ninth. It's really a specific time period where they just have not reprinted stuff. All
Yep.
Star, Levitt's
Infinity Inc.
stuff, Infinity Inc. They just don't do it. I don't know if it's the deal they had or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't make any sense. So I'm going to just pick one of the series I'm thinking. They may have had to put it into because I don't know how long their runs were, but Aaron, Amethyst, and Arak.
Oh, that'd be good.
I
That'd be
mean,
really
I
good.
don't think any of them ran long enough. Maybe it's three oversized thing or one big omnibus. I mean, the issue count was probably highest on Orion. Is my guess. I didn't look it up.
Okay, so just real quick, again, this is totally me just glancing at
Mm.
Mike's Amazing World. Amethyst had, let's see, 12 issues, then another 16, all in the same era, and then a special. So that right there, like that's a compendium.
Yeah, 20. Yeah, it's like 29 issue, and she'd be the for my first choice
Right.
because I found I like that she's a cool character. I like that they brought her back and they
Yeah.
fixed her in, and she's hanging out with younger heroes, and I could say the first chunk of that Bendis era Young Justice, that first arc was really good, and I like the character. I like Ginny Hicks, and I like having Amethyst, and like Superboy coming back, and the second half is like, what in the fuck are you doing? But any one of those in there, but yeah, let's make it. I'll make it Amethyst because they use her, and this would be a good reason because I think Aaron's been pulled into continuity in good ways and in bad ways. And why not Eric? It was an okay Savage Sorcery comic. It was all right.
Yeah.
It wasn't terrible, but it's a definitely an era DC that they just don't care. They're just I think some of it's money. I mean, this was me being
Yeah.
shitty,
It
but
might
it's
be.
odd.
Yeah, and I mean, plus like Amethyst alone, like that's a great, here, give it to, young, readers in general, but girls especially, like, because it was definitely to probably what cash in on the She-Ra stuff, and
Oh
so that's
yes,
coming,
goddamn, yeah, She-Ra,
yeah,
yeah, it's you know they actually took they kind of did a toy line kind of comic,
uh-huh,
and since they didn't have toys to be held to, they really that's why I think Miskin, it's Gary Miskin, isn't it?
I think so, yeah. Here, let
Yeah,
me,
it's a he wrote some really good comic books.
absolutely. Sorry, I'm trying to just look stuff up
Find their
without,
creator.
yeah, Amethyst. Okay,
Uh,
Amethyst number one. Yeah. Dan. Oh, you know what, Russ? This is actually really good. Dan
what?
Michigan, Gary Cohn, because this leads right into my next pick, which is their Blue Devil.
Blue
Uh,
Devil. Their Blue Devil is wonderful.
it's like 31 issues. You can also throw in the DC Comics Presents he appeared in, stuff like that. This is just such a fun freaking series where it's like it doesn't take itself too it doesn't take itself seriously. It's he's Blue Devil is probably one of the last great pre-crisis characters to get introduced, and
Yeah, and he's done well sometimes, and other times it's. But that his comic was spot on.
it was
Really a fun
perfect.
comic book.
It was because like they even took like the trickster and made him like a recurring character, and it's like this is just delightful.
Yeah, yeah. He doesn't really have the best bad guys, and he has a. It's like it was fun because he has a kind of Marvel heroes back history. Like he's got a job. He's
Yeah,
got a
like
day job.
yeah, he's got a day job because if people don't what it originally was is hi, I'm Dan Cassidy, I created this power suit, but I'm using it to make as part of like this movie that I'm working on. Oh no, I'm in the suit because I'm having to do the stunts as well. A demon shows up. I am now trapped in this suit. It is now part of my flesh and blood. And what do I do to try and get out of it?
Yeah,
Um, so it's
I like that. It was very Marvel. It was very
yeah.
Marvel, and it's a beautifully done comic book.
Oh God, again, I think it's Paris Cullen's for like the first year or so. It's
Yeah.
perfect.
It's a great comic. It is. I didn't even think about it. That's one of those. There's some of these posts right before Crisis and after Crisis characters had their books.
Yep.
Blue Devil, Blue Beetle,
Amethyst, honestly,
Amethyst. They all had these
it's
books and it just kind of disappeared.
yeah,
And I mean, but Blue Devil is around. He's used a lot. People love him. He's like the Beast. That's
yep.
my kind of feeling on him. And, he's kind of like the Beast. He needs to be in a specific world, and
Hmm.
he never is. Well, that's not true. I really like him in Shadow Pack.
Shadow Pact, I was gonna say was probably one of the best uses of, but even then, Ross, it's almost 20 years old at this point.
Yeah, yeah. They
Uh,
needed someone needs to be brave enough to write him. He's a good character.
and don't lean into make it funny again, because that's what really I think helped it is it was funny.
Yeah, it was a little tongue in cheek and
Yeah.
it's no fourth wall, breaking the fourth wall.
No.
I don't mind it. The She-Hulk stuff is funny.
Yeah.
Deadpool, I bet is funny. I just don't not going to read that much Deadpool.
I'm not gonna. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So let me do mine. I had one. Uh, this is one weird idea I had. I would like to see. I don't know who has the rights to it, but put all the Star Wars movie adaptations in one oversized collection. Because there has to been an adaptation, and there's probably been some more adaptations where they've readapted it. You could do this, you know what I mean? But
Yeah. Yeah.
just do the initial official ones, get the over the license in because some's going to be big chunk of it's going to be Marvel. Probably
Yep.
all of it's going to be Marvel, but you only
Marvel.
do the
There's probably gonna
nine.
be Dark Horse, maybe
Maybe I don't know who did
like
the
Phantom Menace and all.
I don't know who did I don't know who did the sequel prequels and the sequels. So probably different people.
Yeah.
But
Ooh,
the three Marvel ones would be 12 issues.
okay.
Yeah, 12 issues. So they're all about that. If that's the way they did it. I think sometimes they just did them as giant sizes. But you know what I mean? It would be a
Yeah.
nice one. But you see, I think it would be a great way to read it because one, that first miniseries, Star Wars,
Hmm.
in a lot of ways saved Marvel. They made a lot of money off that comic.
I believe it.
And then they had it before. It's really only it and the Walt Simonson Alien adaptation, I think, are the best adaptation movies uh, things ever done.
Walt Simonson did an Alien. Oh
Yeah,
my
Archie
God, I'm gonna have
Goodwin
to.
wrote it.
Why am I not reading this comic
You've
book right
never
now?
heard of this?
No.
Oh my God, it's famous. You could just Google it on eBay, man. It's a nice hardcover. It was in was it part of Epic? It was in Heavy Metal.
Oh my God. Yeah, folks, I'll be ordering the Archie Goodwin.
It's really fucking good.
I
I'm surprised you didn't know that.
no idea.
Oh my God, it was fucking amazing. I remember my brother giving me it was one of those first trades. And the people who made Epic put it out as like later when the movie came back out. Um,
Okay.
but it's been
Uh,
it's been oversized. I think there's been an artist edition and stuff like that. I
well,
found it in a good hardcover, which I was very happy. And it's like cheap. It's great. It's a really good adaptation. But
uh, yeah, I will be buying that or maybe running to my local comic store after we record to see if they just might randomly have it.
yeah, it's Archie Goodwin and Walt Simonson. It's really good.
Yeah.
Wish there were more of those. But I think that Star Wars, that first Star Wars, the Roy Thomas Howard Chaykin one it's better
It's
edited than that movie was in some ways. But later, because it's got all the extra shit. So when I loved it when they put all the extra shit in because
yep.
I had read that before I saw the movie.
Yep.
Because they got it out. They were like anything to get it out. And I think it'd be a good collection. I think it'd be, I would also put that, I was thinking, do I want that and the Star Treks? Because some of the Star Trek adaptations are good. Some of them are just,
What throws me is that they didn't do Wrath of Khan until the 21st century. It's like, why did you guys skip over the best one?
I think they didn't want to fuck it up.
Yeah.
Pure
It,
cowardice, probably, because that'd be
yeah.
easy to, I'd have just given it to fucking George Perez and said, just use the dialogue, man. Draw a
Yep.
comic with this script.
Yeah,
I, you
and
know,
like, look, I get that it's not the most like visually in some ways because it is a lot of characters on the same set, just at different angles, but still,
it's just a high end episode of the show, really.
it's still one of the best movies.
Oh yeah,
Period.
yeah, it is, it is. So that would be mine, Star Wars. So what is your
So,
seventh pick? Okay.
yep, my seventh pick here is by John Ostrander and Tom Mandrake, and it's their Martian Manhunter run. So
Ooh, good
30
choice.
Yep. So it was like 36 issues. That I think there was like a million in there and a oh wait, if I remember right, it's like there was a zero issue, a 1 millionth issue, in like a special all before the first issue came out.
Yeah, I think it is. I think I know what you're talking about. That
I was
was a
like,
good book. That was a
it was
really good I found that's the most interesting I found Martian Manhunter.
Martian Manhunter is one of my top 10 characters, and everything you want to know and love outside of like the JLI or the Morrison JLA is in this book. Absolutely
Yeah.
read it. And if a series like this had been out earlier, I think he would be better respected in comic circles because, like, God, again, Martian is just one of my top 10 characters at DC, and this book is a big reason why. It's
Yeah.
so because they'll play around with sometimes he's just John Jones, Denver detective. Sometimes it's like, oh, Martian Manhunter is actually the most well-known hero in the Southern Hemisphere, and he has all, and that's kind of where a lot of him having multiple identities throughout the world starts in. Is he's
I always like that in the book. I think John Ostrander writes a tight comic.
He does.
He really does. His Spectre, I have that. I'm going to read that for the first time. I'm very excited. I got it because I he created the modern Mr.
Mr.
Terrific.
That's one of the last issues I'm missing, and I know that's going to cost me an arm and a leg at
Yeah,
this
it
point.
is. It's hard to find. It
Yeah.
is. But I love him. And the Terry Holt we have, not Terry, what is Michael
Michael
Holt?
Holt. Terry
Um,
Sloan's the first guy.
yeah. It's just a reimagining of him, and kind of having him be, I think they're kind of going for Musk in a way, but black and entrepreneur. But I really think I like that he is a progressive millionaire and
Right.
inventor. I'm glad because the ones in the real world are just absolute turds of human
Yep.
beings. But I do, I want that. I've thought of that. I will get it when it comes out. And is it Tom Mandrake for most of it?
I think, yeah, most of it. I don't know if he does every issue, but he does the majority of it.
I had the one where he's training these new JSAers on some stuff, and I put that in my JSA run. And that is in the compendium.
Nice.
Yeah, see? Good ones. So I'm gonna do, let me, I've got four more choices. So I'm gonna kind of looking at, because I put some odd ones in here on purpose. So I'm gonna do a one that I don't know if you know them, these characters, but it's the Tower Comics Thunder Agents.
I've heard of them. Yeah, but I've never
DC
read
had
them.
DC had the rights to them, and they did archives, and it's not much. You could put it all into like two everything. The Thunder Agents, which is the team book, and then the three heroes have their own, come in different books, but it's not a lot. But the main artists are Wally Wood, Gil Kane, and Steve Ditko.
Okay, so yeah.
And it's in the 60s, that 60 where that their shit is uh, pop art. I call it pop art, and I think you know what I mean because Dave and Peter just did one of the all-star comics from the 70s where it's Giffen and Wood art, and it's
Yes.
very of that. It feels like 1966 to me when they draw it like that.
Okay.
I think it's on purpose. It's kind of like I feel I'm in 1974 when I'm looking at a Savage Dragon or hell, fucking Astro City sometimes. When they do the 70s ones, when they had what Star Knight, whatever his name is, I was like, Jesus, man, there's so much Starlin being thrown at me. Um, but um, but yeah, I would pick that stuff. I think it's better than it deserved in its lifetime. There's a reason it is famous and has been when it started coming back out in the 80s, people were going crazy for it. It's just some of the best work those three guys did.
Nice.
And it's just beautiful shit. I mean, just do an artist edition for each one of the artists. I think they sell like crazy. And Ken gave me Ken picked it up at Ollie's. My buddy Ken, he got me the Jim Starlin Warlock Artist Edition.
Ooh.
Yeah, that shit. That's some of his best art is the stuff in Warlock. It's when he went, "Can I do this?" And they're like, "I don't even understand it, so I guess so." It's the Jim Starlin just doing the Jim Starlin stuff, and I think the really hippy dippy stuff is less in Captain Marvel, and definitely in Adam Warlock. That evil Ab Warlock looks like Jesus in Godspell. I think that's on purpose.
That sounds like a 100% Jim Starlin thing to do.
Yeah, well, but the Thunder Agent stuff is gorgeous. The Wally Wood stuff is
It's Wally
beautiful.
Wood. That God.
It's why it is, but it's just it like his horror and sci-fi stuff in the 50s. This is his best stuff. It is
Yeah.
just so fucking good. So I wanted to throw that in there because I like some of these I get, and I've bought stuff like the war, the sci-fi, the horror, DC Finest because I wanted to kind of see what the stuff was like, and I like the horror I loved. I mean, every of those short stories I
Yes.
love. Um, the war, I don't know. I haven't read any the science fiction. It's very 50s. It's very, very, very. So they're only like three plots, and
Right.
and it's not. But the art's good. But and then the team up, which is I'm going to finish that first one they put in now. They're interesting formats to read stuff, but I sometimes I would buy this if this was in one or two omnibuses. just to have it and read it, because it's really beautiful. All right, so your eighth pick.
Okay, my next pick, the it's Jonah Hex. Now it's I'm gonna kind of split this up. You could do the first volume over a couple of omnibuses because it ran like 92 issues. And if you wanted to include the like Mad Max stuff, sure, I guess, depending on how like the mapping would go. But more than that, it makes no sense to me that DC put out an omnibus of Palmiotti and Grace All-Star Western run, which came after their 70 issue run of Jonah Hex, which is not in an omnibus, and that is astounding to me because that original 70 issues where it was just Jonah Hex is some of the best comics DC has put out in the last 25 years. Like
That's the middle thing, not the original. Or is it the original? I mean, which one would you pick? The
I would pick from Jimmy Palmiotti and Grace, Jonah Hex #1 to the end of that run, which is number 70. They also did a OGN Hell and Back Again or something like that with Tony DiZania, Hex's co-creator, drawing the thing. So you could do that in like two omnibuses. It's gorgeous. Ross, that's the stuff that I keep telling you. As soon as
Yeah,
that comes out, get that.
I
And
am because I kept wanting to pull the trigger on the other one.
it's not, I'm sorry, folks, the
Yeah,
All Star
I'm not. I'm
Western
waiting. Yeah.
version sucks because we're going to call it All Star Western and we're going to basically just turn Jonah Hex into another Batman comic. And I mean that he's literally in Gotham dealing with
Why not
Court
put
of
him in Opal
Owls
City? Wouldn't it have been better to put him in Opal City?
a little bit. I still, it's like, don't put Jonah Hex in an urban environment outside of like maybe one issue, but it's like, at least if it was Opal, it would be a little, I'd be a little more
Or pick like
entertained.
Midway, which is out in the
Midway,
Midwest. Maybe
exactly.
it's yeah,
Yeah, make it oh, that way you could have, the Hawkman and Hawkgirl incarnations of that era, Nighthawk and Cinnamon show up
yeah,
a little bit more. And it's like because they showed up in the 70 issue run at 1 or 2 points. And that's kind of the fun of it is a lot of these they're done in ones or done in twos. Maybe there's a 3 issue arc and a 6 issue arc. That's about it. But you're getting some of the best artists for westerns at that point. Jorge Bennett, who we talked about Ross when we did Jonah Hex for the
yeah,
Starman. He becomes about as close to their regular artist as there is, and the whole thing's beautiful. It's a great western. It's do you like Clint Eastwood movies? You'll like this run of Jonah
yeah,
Hex.
yeah. I wanted like my brother used to read, and I read it, Jonah Hex,
Hmm.
because he's a Western guy and he loved it. He loves that character. He's a great character.
Yeah,
Well,
the
you've
Michael
done
Fleischer
that.
run, yeah,
Here's
is also good.
which one?
Oh, just the volume 1, which would be like all Michael Fleischer written.
Yeah, that would be something I'd get if they put it out. Do you put that as a DEC finest by itself? Make Hex be his own.
I'm surprised that they didn't, honestly, and I don't know why.
But oh, and the Western is there. There's no Hex in that one. I haven't looked at my Western one.
Yeah, take a look because I gotta imagine because he showed up in
Do
like
I have
weird
it yet?
Western.
I
Uh,
thought I had it. I
I
may
thought you
not have
did.
the Western one yet.
Yeah,
Oh,
is it? I
uh,
don't know. Go on. Sorry, didn't mean to
okay, yeah,
interrupt.
but I'd like to read them both. I mean,
Hmm.
I know it's good. I think it's probably Fleischer that I'm gonna like because some of the
It's
superhero
really
stuff I
good.
don't. I mean, I just don't like.
Yeah, he's one of those guys better suited to a non superhero genre.
Yeah, yeah, I got you. So I've got one that I'm a huge fan of, and but it was hard build. So I really liked the Kurt Busiek era of Heroes for Hire.
This is
It comes out of Namor. Burns Namor is not fucking bad. Him owning the company, it really works in that. And some of this is from that. This is them going, "Oh, John, we really don't like you, but we're going to cherry pick the fuck out of this because you've got all these heroes." It's good. The Quicksilver book it crosses over with the High Evolutionary. It's the only time I've ever liked Pietro, and because he knows he's been a dick before, but now he's having to do all this other stuff. And he's well written, it ties in, and it's good, and it really plays with the Knights of Wondergar in an interesting way. Um, so you could put those, and then you could put the Misty Knight. There are two more Heroes for Hire after that that are like 6 issue runs, and it'd be a
okay.
narrow book, but you could do it. You could really do it, even if you only use those 4 or 5 Quasar Quicksilver issues, that whatever it is.
Hmm.
Use what you have it, but then you'll show one's the Misty Knight one, which is comes back twice and then becomes Fearless Defenders. Um,
Right,
you could
right.
do it as Hero, those first three as Heroes for Hire, and I think it'd be good. But that was me finding a way to deliver that really good one. And I
Hmm.
didn't read the other stuff, and probably I'll like it. I've just not had the time to read it. So
No, that'd be
that's a
really
quirky
good.
one for me.
No, I would absolutely get that one in a heartbeat, even with the
Um,
Quicksilver stuff.
well,
Because
actually, Busick's writing him, and he's a little more introducing.
sure. I'm sorry. I just like to take the piss out of Quicksilver whenever I can
No, he
because it's
deserves it.
funny.
I'm not saying you shouldn't, but there are times like, hey, this it's not like the character's ever redeemed. It's really you had somebody who could make him at least some. How did you like him in that Robinson Quicksilver, when she tells him to go fuck off?
Man, it's like, can, can you just have pushed him off the balcony in your Manhattan high rise? You'd be doing the world a favor. Like his
She's
funeral would be.
just so rude to him and on every level because he deserves it.
He really does, and I'm sorry. It's just one of the. I don't remember if I mentioned this to Steve Englehart when we met him, but I'm like, man, you just did a good version of a character I just wanted to see killed repeatedly.
Yeah, I know, but it, he's actually not that boring in there.
All
All
right.
right, what's your number nine?
Well, so speaking of speedsters, I'm gonna do a very underpublished, republished. That's Impulse. That
God
run,
damn it! No, glad you said it. It's one of those ones. It's like also Squadron. It's a goddamn no-brainer. Where is it?
I know it's let's see, it was like so you have his first appearances in Flash. There might be a Titans issue or two he was in that might be worth it. But it's like that series ran for like 90 freaking issues. Where the heck is it? It's
Oh,
one of like it's like when I finished reading that all the way through for the first time, I realized that when I was done, I had trouble sleeping because like I'm upset because like none of the recurring cast like in the civilians have ever shown up again and they're freaking amazing. You feel
yeah,
for every last one of them. The art's great throughout. The writer, let's see, it's like Wade, Messner Lopes. I can't remember the third big writer, but even he was really good because, again, it was an editor who knew how to keep a tone to the book. There'd be some crossovers with like Robin and Superboy. That'd all be worth it. It'd be two, maybe three omnibuses, but god damn, do I want people to know and respect that original Bart Allen Impulse run.
yeah. I really do not understand why it's not out. It's kind of odd. It's like when they first started to throw out compendiums. We got the Nightwing, we got the
Mm-hmm.
Robin, and okay, we're going to see Impulse, and we're going to see Superboy. Then we
Mm-hmm.
saw
Nope.
Nightwing Volume 2, and now we're going to Nightwing Volume 3. It makes no sense to me that Impulse and that Superboy
Yep.
were. I was definitely reading them and not reading Flash and Superman at that some
Mm-hmm.
points during that era. And then I finally had to read a Young Justice story because it was crossing over on something else, and I was like, oh, whoa, was I wrong? This book is genius.
Yep.
My volume two is somewhere en route in this winter wasteland that is the United States. And that's not all of it. So there'll be a third one, I'm assuming. It's a great comic, but where is it? Where is Superboy? Where is Impulse? Where is Robin Volume Two? Um, I hope you're not Chuck's not. There's some comic writers who I don't agree with politically, but I still want to read their comics. You
Yeah,
know
I
what I
get that.
mean?
Yeah,
As
I
long as
mean,
they're
I've got
not
a
saying
couple.
horrendous shit,
Yep.
um, I would, because it's like I'm not going to be surprised that so and so is a little right of
Yep.
me
Yep.
and most people.
Yeah.
Um, but that Robin run, that Superboy run, that Impulse run, the Young Justice run, it was this as a comic. I owned a comic shop part of this. It is please, yes, heroes need to be this age. It's the
Yeah.
thing that really every generation pulls them in. Is normally a supporting character, and you learn to love the big gun. Does that make sense? Because
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
read Batman comics when I like Batman comics. I read Superman comics when I like Superman comics. I read the Flash pretty religiously since Crisis.
Mm-hmm.
I have not caught up with modern stuff yet.
Right.
But I'm getting it. I'm gonna dive in because I've found I like Joshua Williamson. So he
Right.
did Flash, so it's probably at least good. It's like reading a good Dan Jurgens, an everyday Dan Jurgens comic. It's not gonna be terrible. It's
But
not
it's
gonna
good.
blow your mind, but it's oh, that's a fun comic. I was entertained for 35 minutes, 40 minutes.
Yeah. Like I'm trying to think of it. It's like hopefully I'm getting this analogy right. There's usually a high floor but a low ceiling when it comes to them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's I and you got to think that some are written by Peter David, Mark Waid,
Wade. Yep.
two of the most trusted writers of their generation. They are
Yep.
very old school and how in they're very old school in basically where they come from as fans, and you see it, but they both write in a way, and Johns's and Wade's their range is
Pretty good.
they write really great comic books with young people in it,
Mm-hmm.
and then they write action adventure, and then they write. I mean, David's X Factor. I really want to read it, and I really want to read his Hulk because at times it gets dark. He goes someplace dark,
Right.
and but it's weird that these books are not reprinted. I mean, if you're marketing to older fans with disposable income on some of these things, I get it, but we want those more so than the younger people. But if you put them out in a cheap trade at the press and they market it as Mark Waid or Peter David,
Mm-hmm.
you're going to get new readers.
Yeah, because you could hand that impulse run to a kid today, and they would still, because it's a lot of Bart being a kid, like a hyperactive kid in school, and having to deal with all that stuff. And it's like,
Yeah, I
again,
think kids would really, I think there's a reason why that character is so popular. And when
yep,
they write him out, like they did at
it's,
some point, I missed that part, but
yep,
when they were reevaluating this speedster after Rebirth, where
mm,
when they had to do the kind of a soft correct,
yep,
but so like I, it's just it's a perfect run. I've read it in chunks. I've not read all of it. I really
it's
at
worth if
one
it's
point
on
I
the
was only
app.
getting those books for a bit
Yep.
because they're just so good. And I would put any of where are the rest of them? Um, I'm gonna hold on one second. I'm running out of choices, and there are a couple I want to really kind of hit. And I only got two more, so I'm gonna just say to a Starman, and this is one I'm designing it for the rest of us, where you
Okay.
have all the Will Payton stuff, all the Prince Gavin, all the Michael. You have the original Silver Age story, Starman in 1951. You have Star hyphen Man. You have to. You
Yeah.
have to. I've talked about it, and Earth Theory podcasts have talked about it, and neither of us knew it until I found it in a little library. It was bizarre. But I think, and you could put the, even though it's in the Starman compendium, the Congo Bill
Yeah.
Starman one shot, it could be because you could. I'm not going to use any of my picks for a golden age um, um,
Uh,
one because I don't
Starman.
think because one they don't have good enough material to do it because the second hardcover is photostats. They're good, they're beautiful photostats. They look nice, but it's different. And I'm tired of getting, as any Starman fan is, where's the real omnibus ones?
Yeah.
That they were one of the first compendiums, great, and the mapping's I think a little bit better.
Mm-hmm.
They've made some adjustments, and that it's got the Other Shade miniseries and the Blackest Night issue. I think we need one that has, and it can have. This would have the DC Comics Presents where Superman meets Prince Gavin, all that stuff.
What that'd
It
be
would be a
great.
nice size, and it would be a good companion, and you could just mark it as, um, you know, put out if you fucking put out, excuse me, DC, put out Starman Volume One, meaning and don't make this a giant omnibus like the compendium. Split that compendium in half, or cut it in half or thirds, make it $100 and do those and sell this like it's a month when you're not doing it. These are going to sell. I, one DC guy so is listening to our small podcast. I just think they're built-in fans, and they're new people. I would read it, but I'd like to see it in a the compendiums are hard to read. They are a little bit. I get it, but it would just be a great one. So why don't we have the Starmen and have all the other Starmen's origins in there? And you could put some of Ted's stuff. You could do anytime. You could add anytime Ted showed up in a JSA or something.
Yep, or a JL or the JLA JSA, where maybe I can't remember if Ted was ever really front and center in any of those, but
Somebody
maybe
he's in a couple. He's in a
yeah,
couple. I don't think they ever have him say much.
yeah,
He just zaps around and flies with his cosmic rod.
yep.
So, but
And
I mean, you know what I mean.
yeah, yeah,
It's very niche. That's my super niche one.
that's yeah. But and let me say this, DC and any of the other companies we've mentioned, if you guys do on the business or collections of it, how about you forward it a copy to Ross and I? We'll review it. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah, yeah,
we'll
yeah.
come on,
Please,
help us help you.
yes. I would love to see someone map that. I think the mapping in the compendium is pretty damn good.
Yep,
It's helped me. It's helped me on getting stuff in order, and I will. But yeah, it's worth it. It's worth it. One, the Ditko art in Starman is really good. I
it
really think
is.
some of my favorite Ditko art is when he is inked by the right people, and it's Larry Malstadt, I think, if I'm remembering correct,
God,
which is
yeah.
never a bad thing. All right, so it's your turn. What's your 10th and final?
Okay, so I have talked many times. I am a Carrie Bates defender, but I will say without a doubt, his best work ever was Captain Atom. It was him with a very young Greg Weisman as his co-writer. You have Pat Broderick for the first like half of that run. It was about 50 issues. You have an annuals. They'll have a little
Is this
crossover.
stuff pre-crisis into
No,
crisis,
no,
or
no. This is all post-crisis, and what it does is very interesting. Is it takes like all these pre-crisis Captain Atom stories. This is General Eiling use like fabric saying those stories are fabrications to try and sell like Captain Atom has actually been a hero for years. You just didn't hear about him because they were these very like contained events. But they're it's all like it's really good. Again, you have like General Island, he does that thing of he's one of the best villains in DC because
oh
he'll
my God,
do
when he became the Shaggy Man, I went, "What are you?" Oh, shut up. You're right. This is kind of cool.
it's kind of cool, but it's like when he's just the General, it's like he's playing like 5 moves ahead, where it's like with under Bates and Weisman, he could outdo Lex Luthor or Amanda Waller in terms of how far he's playing ahead because it's like he has Captain so under his thumb, and it's just for the first, chunk of that run, it's like Captain was like he's kind of being forced to play a superhero. Then at some point he realizes, oh, I actually am really good at being a superhero, and you'll see like why kind of Captain Atom so often is like mischaracterized because it's like he is not like this government stooge. He was a special ops guy framed, and it's just so good. You could do again, it's 50 issues plus some stuff, and you could even do the fall and rise of Captain Am that Bates and Weisman did like 10 years ago or so.
I read that. I'd
Yeah,
forgotten it was Carrie Bates because
yeah,
it falls into that kind of DC conspiracy governmental stuff. It's
it
because
is,
you know
and
what I mean? They did a
it's
lot of it.
they did, and it's one
Checkmate,
of the
which was a
best.
little more.
Hmm. And I'm seriously kind of thinking of doing this after I'm done Zoo Crew. Is I love it so much, and I'm just kind of I really want to talk about this some more, but
I've not
yeah,
read it, man. I would really like. I think it's probably in there. Let's see. It's weird.
it's
Maybe it's
got
not.
hopefully it's on the infinite because folks like it's one of the best. Like again, you'll see the growth. You'll see Captain Adam having all these relationship problems because it's the fact of he's not like because he got flung into the future from Vietnam to the late 80s. His kids are now like the same age as him, and you learn Eiling married his wife because he was thought dead, and all of like the fallout
I
that comes
forgot
from
all about that stuff.
oh
There was a lot of like big movie kind of plotting to it.
it's very tight, and it's like he finds out his daughter is dating his best friend, so like there's an age and like a little bit of a race thing where it's like
issue.
he's my best friend, but oh my god, am I kind of things like, wait, am I being racist of all of this?
Oh man.
And like it's handled very well in that regard, I think.
Well,
So
that's a
it's
good one.
well,
I'd like to read that stuff again. I remember that being good. I like what they did with Cat and Adam in the 80s and 90s. And
and
then
it's
I
honestly
just
his
think they
best
decided to
costume.
make him a one-trick pony and they kept doing the same thing from because of Kingdom Come. I was like,
Yep,
why
that's
do you keep
exactly what they
repeating
did.
that? Um,
It's yeah.
so I'm gonna look at what's left on my list, and I had some other odd stuff that I didn't pick, or where I thought I wanted to have a wider variety. But I'm gonna go with my last pick to do Secret Avengers.
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah,
It's not been reprinted. I've not read it. It's Rucka, and Remender and people like that. And so I liked it. That the Valkyrie is in it.
nice.
I like her. I like Flash Thompson as Agent Venom. I do. It's the Sandman as a hero, but you also got other people popping up in it. The bad guy Ant-Man is in it, but I've never read it all because it was like Avengers Spotlight or the what's in the Hawkeye books because having read most of the two volumes where I haven't did I finish it yet? I haven't finished it yet. That the this Hawkeye stuff in Spotlight was really above average Marvel comic at the time.
It
I
is.
really enjoyed it. It felt really tied to West Coast because Milgram was a part of it, so it had
Hmm.
that aesthetic, but it also had that lightness of touch because there is a lightness. Engelhardt is he has complex plots, but his interaction of his team is always very. It, it's got the good interpersonal. It's got the water cooler moments, and it's good. I think I'd like to see this because one, I like Rucka.
Yeah,
I like Remender. Everything I've read of theirs, and it's if I want a gritty superhero book, they're the people I want to do it. Because it's not just you're not just making your good heroes do bad things. You're making them. It's real. The best way is it's really these feel like early. There's an era of Avengers, original Avengers run after Kooky Quartet kind of ends, and you have Hank and Jan back where it's really all the super spy shit.
gotcha.
You know, they're
Hmm.
fighting the Chinese bad guy, and then they're fighting the Russian bad guy, and they got a sumo wrestler bad guy, and they're all communists, and it's all their secret bases where they meet it's
Hmm.
really leans into that because the Avengers really don't do that anymore. Because it used to be one of their tricks.
Yeah,
They'd be investigating something, but it just stopped kind of happening. So I think this is a little bit about it, and it's a way to use Cap while Bucky's being Cap.
right.
And I like Commanders Rogers. I was
If I
like, you
remember,
get, hey, I didn't think bringing Bucky back would work.
it works better than it does for Red Hood, but that's another story.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um,
Well,
I remember this series coming out, but it was at a point where there was like four Avengers books going on at once, so
yeah,
I feel like it kind of got buried
I
because like
agree.
there was like New Avengers, Mighty Avengers, Avengers something or other. I just remember it was like a deluge point, so I think it kind of got lost. So
Yeah,
I
and I think they could just collect it the way they did Young Avengers, because they did that pretty well. I don't have the Omnis. I have the Omni of the one I don't. Of The only Young Avengers has got the more recent, not the more recent, but the second one where it's America for America and Young Loki and all that, and it's good. It's good. I've read like the first one or two, but I've read just the first one, and then there's more. But that's what it feels like. That's the way they've collected. The way they've collected Savage Avengers. Um, I've got one Omni, but there are two trades of the next run that would only be like a deluxe edition if they
gotcha.
yeah. So, but they probably can't reprint it. That would be one. I'd like to see a second volume because I really like it's basically a Conan comic. And he's wandering around and you get to see where he's going. It's very odd. And he it were I thought it would be stupid, but I enjoyed it. And they never take it too seriously.
Okay, that's
That
good because I'm wondering if like the Robert D. Howard estate looked at that as like, look, we were giving you the rights back, but you put them in an event. What the f are you doing? That's not what we want. And I'm wondering if that's how it got the tight
he just thinks it just all rolls off his back, and he's
That
just going from bar to bar.
that's how Conan should be.
It's basically it is. And you see his map, he gets a Latveria. He doesn't know who this dude is. And then he
Right.
goes, hey, wait a minute. I think I normally get paid to kill people like you. So, and he makes friends with the weirdest people. So, I mean, I think him and Logan kind of get along.
All right.
Um, but it's basically, it's not a formal team. Most of the people are Avengers, yes,
Right.
but none of them know this guy. And it really relates. They even touched the character that they can use in Marvel, the bad guy that's an X-Men bad guy now, really, who turns Manhattan into medieval times. But it's some fun stuff, and it's got some better lineups. I think during the Bendis run, I've gotten his Omnis, and they're weird reads. They're very weird reads, because of the way he plots and how some of the secondary stuff isn't in it. But it's kind of like this is the more traditional Avengers. It just feels like an older Avengers story that I missed, and I liked it, and it looked good because it had good people doing it. I mean, it had top people doing it. So, but
Nice.
that's it. We've done our 10, but I was like there was a couple of things that I didn't point out, but there's one I wanted. And if you have one or two you want to give a
Oh
shout out
yeah,
to,
yeah.
I have one that I think I've thought about the Tintin books because I've been getting the Blake and Mortimer in an oversized Cine 9 or whatever the name of the company is doing them. They could do them. Wish they would do it with Tintin. But I wanted to talk about a specific artist version. I don't normally like artists like pencilers for volumes because
Hmm.
they'll be missing issues. It's a nerd. It just
Right.
tweaks me. But I would just like all the John Severin drawn westerns.
Oh, that'd be good. Yeah.
Yeah, that would just be kind of comic because as I'm reading the Hulk, and he's not even the inker on all of it with Trimp, but there's a lot of Severin in the westerns, and I love the Trimpy Severin Hulk. It is my favorite Hulk, and I'm really digging like where the Thor I haven't even gotten out of Tales to Astonish is. Hulk was actually had some really good people on it all along. His hands are tied by 60s bullshit at times, and
Right.
sometimes it's funny and sometimes it works right. And you start to see people start to figure out how you could pace a Hulk comic and how silly you can go. Because I really think um, Roy and these guys are doing a good job. Um, and or is it still Stan? I'm still in Stan.
Oh wow.
Stan did this book, and but it's getting into what works. It's like Mantlo just did a version of this. Shit, Peter David did different
12
versions.
years of
Like, yeah,
that.
he knew he has it in his brain when the Hulk looks like Buscema and when it looks like Trimpy, and that the monster's fluid, which I love. But
Hmm.
I would like a John Severin Western, just because when I think of Western comics, I've seen the ones that I've seen and gone, ugh, are the ones that he has his hands on. Whether inking his sister or wife, I'm not sure what their relationship is. Um, but he's an artist that people don't know about unless you're a huge Hulk fan and or a huge Western fan. And I'm neither. I am becoming a bigger Hulk fan, but
Right.
he's not. I've read more Hulk than I've read Spider-Man in
Hmm.
my life, and I've probably read more Hulk than I've read. No, I've read way more Superman because there's just years and years of
There's just more
one.
Superman at the end of the day. Um, okay, so I just want to kind of list off some of my also rans. I'm not going to go into any real detail. Just get the full rebooted Legion from 0 hour to whenever the three boot started. Just get that all finally collected in one big thing. There's a fan base for it. Falls under the
Yeah,
same
it's a
thing.
and it like the triangle era because it is mapped a certain way. You really, I was trying to explain that there's something to it. It's like, when like now I would not read every book of somebody. But with Superman,
Right.
it was like watching a soap opera. It had different plots for different days of the week, and that he wasn't only on one adventure at a time, that he was really juggling things, and that
Hmm.
5 creative teams can work like that. And you know what I mean? And the two different creative teams in the league that year, this early, it is built for omnis and compendiums. The
Collections.
series is built for it. Sorry, I just
Yep.
had to jump in and say that.
Yeah, yep. Then just the Legion/Rebels series, because there was times where I liked that better than the main Legion book, especially when 5 years later was going on.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's a good book. It's a good book, and it's a
it,
nice. You got Captain Comet, you got Lobo. It
you
makes
got
sense.
Loeb. Yeah, it was.
It's the
You
only
have
time I really like Lobo, really.
yeah, pretty much, and it actually used Lady Quasar, which everyone else forgot about existed.
And
Uh,
she's problematic. She is like a 50s man, handsy.
yeah. Uh,
Um,
Silver Age Metal Man, because that series didn't last that long. They could probably give him one omnibus. It'd be
yeah.
good.
And you can put their brain, these are those things where you can put other shit in there.
Yep. Uh, Hawkman by Robert Venditti, because it was finally the series that got me to actually like Hawkman.
God, it's such a really the only two. Okay, I'm reading some of the early Hawkman in the Silver Age Hawkman, and
Right.
they're okay. They're okay. I'm enjoying them.
You're
The
right.
art's beautiful. But they're very simplistic. But I really think the beginning of the Ostrander Truman stuff, but not all of it. I think, but
Yep.
Vendetti and the Johns Morales volumes are the two I love the best. I think
Yep.
it's the best that they work.
Yeah.
I would like to see them. I see that people writing Justice Society right now. It took until Johns was doing a flashback to use Carter. They're really
Yep.
afraid to use Carter. I don't. It's.
I don't
Um.
get it.
I don't know why. I think because Johns wrote him well, and he can be, even if you're writing him as a leader, he can write him well. You don't have to delve into
Yeah.
all the other stuff. He's just not. He doesn't. Don't
No,
kill
you
him
don't.
off don't kill him off every 10 issues or something silly.
Exactly.
So, but yeah,
Bill
that's a good
Willingham.
choice because I love that. I love that.
Yep. This is one that was kind of an oddball. And I have no idea what the rights are. Just get all Bill Willingham's Elemental series because that was actually a really good horror book at its core, more than anything else.
Yeah, and
Um,
how many issues was it? Like
oh
40,
God, it was
50?
you could. I don't even know if it hit 50.
Yeah,
So yeah, you could
there's some of
easily.
those odd ones of like small publisher that hit. I remember getting that and going, and that and Justice Machine because I like
Oh, Justice,
Gustavich.
that'd be a good one too.
Yeah, and I like Gustavich.
Yeah, Mike
Um,
Gustovich. Yeah,
Gustavich. I like his art. I like it.
yeah,
It's very he he's very Rick Buckler. He's very Dave Ross. There's some
yeah.
people that worked with Roy because and I like them all. They're all good. But yeah, and I don't think I had anything else other than that. The Starman one, I did. I gave you part of the Amethyst Arak, and I could have done but the weird ones I had would be the JSA one I was thinking about would have because the 10 issues for Paroback isn't big enough.
Right.
So do you do deluxe oversize for that? For the 6 part? Well, it's already out in a standard hardcover, we covered,
Mm-hmm.
and then the Strange Adventures,
Right,
which
but
is like 8 issues or 12 issues.
okay, so that would be that'd be like one big hardcover, not like an omnibus. But yeah, no, that would okay. I see what
Yeah,
you're saying.
but they put those all together because they're really JSA in the late 80s or going into the 90s. They really do lead up into Johns's.
Right.
And I'd like to see people see the guy that wrote the one we just covered, who I've not really loved is Starman, but his Justice Society is really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fun. It felt like the late issue of the original run, and it worked real good. And it's Morris. Very much a Ted
Yeah.
story. It and Golden Age are really, Ted plays a big part in it. I like it. But that was
Uh,
one. And then another one was where's it here? I got you. The Levitts we talked about. I would
yep.
like another Green Arrow Golden Age.
Oh, that'd be good. Yeah.
And if it's big enough, have the Kirby stuff in it. Because
Yeah, I think that
because
hasn't that
his
been
would only
collected?
he only did about 10 issues.
Okay.
Or do it as separate because maybe you need to do another Golden Age, then the Kirby, and then do the Silver Age stuff, and just call it the Silver Age stuff. It's okay, I think, for the most part. It's like reading early Batman.
Yep.
I now count the number of time he uses the ejector seat. It's way too many times. We must use the ejector seat. Oh, we have it on both sides, so I can shoot me and Speedy into the air.
God, those
Um,
things are expensive, Ollie.
no shit. That's the problem with it. It's like, dude, but he does. But I've been reading it and I've paused because it's Golden Age. It could be repetitive and some,
Yeah,
but George Cap is at war, so now I've got some filling guy. And he's
yeah,
not his. I think it's Asherman. It's someone I don't really like as much. I think it may be the guy that does the terrible Doctor Midnight, which bugs me.
yep.
But I would like to see that. The Kirby stuff is definitely this very. Have you ever seen his Green Arrow?
No, but what I'm imagining it's a lot. It's got to be similar to when he did Newsboy Legion, something closer to that than like
Well, it's
six.
more.
Oh, is it more 60s ish?
It's really weird. It's more Marvel. I don't know. You'd have to look at it. It's reprinted. It's go. It's out there. It's it's. I see it as very specific to that. I don't see. I can't remember unless it's Marvel horror.
Okay,
Because they're weird body proportions. It's not like his square. It's just like mask is looks like a G-string and he's got it stuck to his face.
oh
It's
geez.
really fucking weird. It's weird. It's weird. It's closer to his Captain America
Okay,
than it is to anything in the 60s.
all
That's
right,
put it that way. It's closer to his Captain America. His later 40s character once he's back from the war.
right,
But it's still that got that Joe Schuster veneer,
right.
whatever that is. Because Steve is skinny as a pole in some of those early Captain Americas. So I would like that for just being the Green Arrow. Because
Oh yeah,
Ollie was my favorite of DC character until Jack came along. So,
absolutely.
so
No, I get you want everything.
yeah, I mean, I
No, no,
basically I
yeah,
got a lot of it now. I would like to read some of his more recent stuff, but his Kevin Smith stuff is I have a soft spot for it. It
I get
needed
it.
a lighten up. And I
Yep,
felt that John Williamson's his like 10 issue run or 11 issue run was very much a love letter to that.
right.
And I thought I was going to hate the last group on it because I was like, you're just mimicking Grell
Hmm.
and blah, blah, blah. And I've read it and went, all right, yeah, yeah, but you're doing it. Okay. You're just doing it as dark detective shit again. Okay.
Yeah.
It works that way. It was, I liked it. And they brought back the Crimson Archer, who was an old villain and he fucking doses Roy. It's really dark. It was really
Okay.
I liked it. I really liked it. Did you read it?
No, no. Like I said,
Oh,
I dip in and out of Green Arrow, so like it's
yeah,
one of
I'm
those
not,
like
I've become that very much so. Like the new 52 stuff is atrocious.
yeah,
And
I like
whoever
that stuff. It's like I'll do a hard pass on that. I
yeah,
just read
I
a
tried to read it and went, you're wrong.
yeah.
But I have liked the last two runs. I really did. It was a lot of fun. And it was using the Green Arrow family in the right proportion. And I
Okay.
liked that family more than I like, say, the Superman family.
Yep.
Because I love Connor. Those
Yep.
Connor issues were better than some of the Wally ones. I mean, Wally needed a rest. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Those short-term rests, it's like Barry needed a 25-year rest.
Pretty much. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
I mean,
yeah.
he's still not as interesting as Wally, so,
Nope.
but
He really isn't.
all right.
I just wanted
So
to
I
mention
could,
Secret Society real quick.
okay, it
But
was on my list too. Secret Society supervillains.
yeah, because that would be just like a hard like one big deluxe hardcover.
It'd be a lot. It's more than you think. It'd be like
15,
15 issues, 16
15,
issues.
you got like the JLA issues, you got like a DC something or other. So
Space
yeah,
Superstar. Yeah, you got all those weird
yeah,
ones that
no
you
one
didn't really
remembers.
realize it. My brother realized it when he read them. He goes, "Hey, this is a continuation of the Super Secret Society," as he was buying it off the fucking rack.
Jeez. Yeah, I mean,
And there
there
was
were a
no
bunch.
comic media really, except letter pages.
Nope. Yeah, I mean, there were a bunch of like those. Infinity Inc. It falls into that like weird pre-crisis era where like All Star Squadron. I don't know why they've never reprinted it.
Maybe they don't want to pay a certain amount. There's money.
Yeah,
I don't. There's nothing problematic in it. I mean,
not
not
to my
that more
memory.
so than anything else.
No, no, I've listed some other creators where it's like, yeah, Yeah, maybe
Yeah,
they don't
there's
want to pay
some.
Todd McFarlane or something because
I'm thinking more Roy. Roy had a really good,
it's pro
sweetheart deal.
it was probably Roy.
And
That would
all of
make
that shit has
sense.
not been reprinted. None of it.
Yeah,
Unless he's
yeah.
pissed somebody off over there.
Probably Paul Levitt's one surprise. Not that Paul has like that
Paul
power
didn't give a
anymore.
shit. But Paul would have said, how much are we going to make?
Right.
I think this is very much a post Paul kind of shit because Paul stuff's not being reprinted. And he
That's
probably had a
true.
better page rate. And he probably had a better page rate
Yeah.
because I'm the boss, you know? And it, he came when it was announced he was coming back, we fans were fucking happy
Mm-hmm.
because we remember the last really good thing was the war. I mean,
Yeah.
he wrote I that is why I can't I will all my love will always be that era. It was coming out at peak comic reading at me. It was coming out at a very exciting time of comics, and all of a sudden Legion was as good as X-Men and Titans in
Mm-hmm.
sales. It was a great time, and it's because that good a book. It has to because people I watch near mere condition and they go, oh, how many? All six Legion fans. It's like I will fucking want to punch him. It's
Yep,
like,
I get it.
dude, Paul Levitt's Legion is way better written than a fuck a ton of Claremont
Oh
later
God, yeah.
X-Men. Okay, they both overwrite,
Yeah.
but one has enough of an editor in himself that he
Knows when to pull back.
knows when to pull back. Sometimes he doesn't. Sometimes he does. But it doesn't make no sense that it's not being published. So there's got to be some stupid reason, or
Yeah.
they're just saying these fans have died off, and I'm like, not yet. Golden Age stuff is still coming out, and you haven't done this stuff.
Yeah, but
I
also I gotta
mean,
imagine those are way better rate. Like cheap it's cheaper for the company, I bet, is most of that because I'm sorry, I don't understand how like even like Golden Age Superman they have like so many DC finds because it's like how many people can read more than one of these a week?
yeah, I don't know. I do prefer early Superman. But it's
It was just
they're
a
eight
for
pages
instant.
and gone. Yeah, they're very it's he Schuster and then Berling are much better illustrators than some of the others.
Yeah.
So and Batman with Finger and other people, were doing the drawing on Batman. It had above average stuff. But yeah, I've got one of those Chronicles, which is like that thick and
Yeah.
it's in that production order, publication order, and it's just the Superman stories. So I like that that's the way they do them in the Golden Age stuff is it's here it is. And this
Mm-hmm.
is every time he appears because he's only 8 pages for years. I mean, I can't remember when there's a 10 or 12. You know what I mean?
Right, right.
You'd have three Superman and then some backups when they started cutting down on page counts. Um, but yeah, I don't get it either. It's like as much as I want to read it, just put it on the app. Put it on the
Yep.
app because I mean I have the Justice Society because of my fixation.
I have that for completionist purposes.
Yeah, and I want to read it. And I've read some of it, and I really, I need to get back on the horse and read some more of it. I mean, I can skim the crap stuff. I mean, some of it is just judge you. Ooh, this is pretty. Judge. Ooh. I mean,
uh,
it becomes that, but whatever. All
yeah.
right, folks. I hope you enjoyed this and this long exit. But if you have any suggestions, I'll put it up on the thing. I really wish Blue Sky or someone would do a poll because I miss that, but I don't miss X.
Right.
Yeah, but I don't make that Psychosis. It's an ugly, dark little fucking place. Um, but I'd like to kind of know what are you looking for? There are ones I didn't mention, Exiles. And Exiles for Marvel fans, and I'm not a big a Marvel fan for more recent stuff, but I love that book. It was a new miniseries every 4 issues. You had the same writers jumping in and out, and I fucking liked X-Men characters. I fucking liked them. And I liked the ones that were just weird and it was Winnick and Bedard. They knew how to juggle. It was they did all the right team rules but they did them in little short. The book worked. It really worked, and it made me interested because then it would go back and do like this is an Avengers story. This is where the Kree took over. It really went to some what if worlds and did something. But some of the times, what they had to do is let someone die or kill somebody, or one of them would have to die. It was weird. It was a really good book. it had a very John Ostrander feel, but you like the characters a little bit more. I mean,
Mhm.
they're, I like his John characters, but sometimes you shouldn't really like that person.
Right. No, I get. Trust me.
you
His
know,
Spectre is not a great person.
oh shit. And Deadshot is just
Ter
borderline,
yeah, horrible
borderline.
human being. Fascinating character. Horrible human being.
Yeah. So, but he gets a redemption arc, and he can have a redemption arc. Death throw, stroking them.
No.
But let's hear what your other people's are. I mean, I know there are a lot of them out there because I watch videos about what are you looking for, what you like, you know. So it's always worth it. All right. I'm gonna do a quick recommendation. And it is the Tomasi Gleason Superman Omnibus. I finished it. And there are other artists in it that were all good. It's my second favorite after Triangle Era,
It's a it's
no
a
doubt.
damn good era. It's a
No, it is.
real
I
good
mean,
era.
and I think it's just the right amount of some stuff. I mean, I'm going to
Hmm.
read more Tomasi and Gleason. I'm going to read Super Sons, and I'm going to read Tomasi's Batman and Robin. Is it Batman and Robin? Yes, Batman and Robin. Because I just have to read more Tomasi. He actually liked something I posted about his, and I didn't hashtag it. He saw it, and I was like, all right, yay. And then Dan Jorgens liked something I posted. I think it was about Catherine O'Hara. I don't remember. I was just like, really? I like that. I'm not in tagging you, just looking for you to say you see something I posted.
Yep.
But yeah, let's see what yours are. There's other good stuff out there.
Yeah.
What's your
Uh,
recommendation? This
so I finally finished this week the second compendium of Sandman Mystery Theater. Again, this is one of those series. It's excellent top to bottom, but sometimes it is so dark and so heavy that it's like I need a break between reading story arcs sometimes. And it's probably going to be a bit before I go back and reread the series because I will absolutely reread this beginning to end, but I need to be in a mood for it. Is
Yeah, I
that
need to read more of it. I need some noir. I watched The Thin Man yesterday. It is
classic?
fucking where we live. Me and my wife have nailed blankets over windows and doors because our heater could not. It was like 11 degrees last night.
It's
So it's been
freezing.
very cold. We thought our HVAC wasn't working, and it's like it's going, no, you're just asking me to do something I'm not willing to do.
Yeah.
So there were a couple times when it was at 60 degrees. But I've been in here because I'm not allowed to walk on any of the ice with my bad foot still. And
I
so I've been trapped. I open my bathroom window when I smoke a pipe and blow it out the window. But I watched some film noir. Folks, if you've never seen The Thin Man, go on Tubi and watch it.
it,
It's a beautiful print. It is a really beautiful print. It must be a newer one because I remember watching it on something else and went, whoo, this is old. But it was wonderful. They're amazing. If you've
they really
never
are.
seen Myrna Loy and William Powell play Nick and Nora Charles, you are missing out. You're missing out. They're the sexiest two people, and he can play drunk so extended to where
It's hilarious.
they're not, he's like going, no, this could be lit. I've drank 6 of these things. So Nick is just buzzed most of the time or just standing still smoking a cigarette while he sobers up, and it's
Yep.
wonderful. I forgot how good it was. I forgot about the cop who helped. They're working the case together. It got a little darker than I remembered it, but I listened to a Lux Lady radio version of them doing a radio show of it.
Oh, nice.
It was very cool. Yeah, it's on Spotify, but it's Lux. It's a Lux hour. I will find it and link it. Because I love anything Nick and Nora, and definitely
Hmm.
those two. All right, folks. As always, thank you for listening. So be safe, be smart. Please be kind to one another. Um, way to go, Minnesota, and read some comics. Pick out a collection you haven't read in a while. Grab one off the shelf and do a reread. All right, let's stop.